Okay, so I just want to share what the Lord has shown me about how He's going to recompense and deal with all the lies, manipulations, the backbiting, all this kind of stuff. You know how Satan is. Their wicked love. You know, all that kind of stuff. The bomb, all this kind of stuff. Okay, so how Satan pretends to be brethren, certain men creeping in unawares, the book of Jude kind of stuff. How is God going to deal with this? Well, we already know that how God is going to reward this is He's going to make a copy of the earth for kingdom purposes, paradise purposes, and the real earth is going to be the hell that everybody wants, war, disease, and all that kind of stuff that everyone's hoping for. That's exactly what they're going to get. The prophecies even say that. But, all the heathen out there trying to say, yeah, we're willing to repent. We want to be your friend. We're going to be on your shoulder. We feel your pain. All this blah, 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 just exposing yourselves. Look, we're going to be up above. You're going to be down below. The only way to get up above is if you truly repent in your heart, or at least want to, whatever God's grace commands. You can't fake it. You can't counterfeit it. So that's the only way out. So I just wanted to share that with people.
Down next to me, and he was real serious, you guys. I mean, he would not let my attention go off. He was like, this is serious, and you're going to pay attention, because I have attention deficit disorder, I think, or something. I don't know. Or at least with these visions, it's hard to pay attention because you kind of zone out, start thinking about other stuff. But he was like, no, you are going to pay attention to this. And he kind of got into my, in my face, like his face was right now. And I was like, okay, I'm paying attention. He wasn't angry or anything. He's not like that. But he was just like, look at me, pay attention, And he kneeled down and he was on one knee and he was telling me to kneel down next to him on one knee facing him. And he kept saying, kneel down. And so in my vision, I knelt down on one knee like he did, and I was facing him and he was facing me. And we were both kneeled on one knee, and he put his right palm up, up. And I put my right palm up next to his, and he just was staring at me, staring right into my face, right into my eyes. And I was like, what? And then all of a sudden, I shot up into the sky. I mean, shot up into the sky, pew! And I was in the sky, and I was like, wait a minute. And so, obviously, I was like, okay, that seems like the rapture. But then I looked down, but he wasn't up there. And I looked down, and he was still on the ground, and I was like, wait a minute. What are you doing? Aren't you supposed to be up here? But he was down on the ground. I was watching him, and he walked over, and there was a lady, and she was sick, and she was laying down because she was sick. And then all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, everybody's sick down there. And she was laying down, and he went over and he did the same thing to her that he did to me, and he put his palm against her palm, and then she came up to where I was. And I was still looking at him, and I'm like, how long are you going to stay down there? And I was just looking at, and he looked up at me, and he pointed, and he was like, go. He's like, stop looking at me and look where you're going. You're stop looking down here. And he made that very clear. He was like pointing up there, and he was serious. And he was like, you go up there and stop looking at me and what I'm doing, because this is my job and that's your job. Go. And I was like, okay. And so I turned around to see where I was, and I saw this huge place that looked like, the only thing I can even compare it to is Grand Central Station in New York City, except it was bigger than that. It was just like this big, vast, expansive room, and it had this golden hue to it. And I'm almost out of time, but it had this golden hue to it. And I saw all these faces coming toward me, or I was going through them. I'm not sure, but they were so happy. I've never, ever in my life seen that many people that happy. Never in my entire life have I seen that. I mean, these people were so happy. They were like, I just don't even know. I don't even know how to describe it. They were just so extremely happy. And then I saw off to my left, that was toward my right, or it was like the direction that I was going, but it was like toward the right. And then off toward the left, I saw this guy, and he was like really sad and really depressed. And everything was gray. Everything was gray and dull. And I was like, oh my gosh, what? And then he was like, just joking. And then he like went off. I think that's what he did. And I was like, oh, okay. And then they all like, and then I faced toward the right. And then I noticed that there was a difference between what was on the right and what was on the left. And that's what he was trying to show me, was that he was showing me that while this is going on, there's this other thing going on. So on the right, or in forward, which was, for me, it was forward. Forward was this golden place that was this huge, vast place, and it seemed like it had a golden hue and it's shiny, and I gotta go, I'm running out of time. It was like shiny, but then to the left, there was this dull, gray place, and people were dying, and I gotta go, you guys. It's a really important vision. I gotta go. Bye.